Hello, and welcome to Friendship, Wellness, and Wisdom with your hosts, Heather and Rachel.
Together, we're here to talk about all things self-care, from fitness to mindfulness and everything in between.
Whether it's yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, or practices like tapping and meditation, we're here to help you discover new ways to care for yourself.
We'll also share tips on positive self-talk, finding time for self-care, and creating routines that stick.
We're here to provide you with plenty of tips, tricks, and unsolicited life advice.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Join our community, and together we can explore the path to wellness.
Today we are talking about top reasons people exercise beyond weight loss and body shape change. This topic is based off of a blog that Rachel wrote, and it's a great topic because movement is so beneficial. It's beyond the number on the scale. It's beyond how you look in your clothes. It really is all encompassing when it comes to how we feel, mind, body, spirit, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to open up. I'm going to ask Rachel some questions. The blog is really good. It has a lot of detail to it. It's very informational, and she has a lot of references that back up the information that she has put to, like, the information that she's put together in the blog. So we're going to start this off with just asking some questions, and then Rachel's going to dive in to the information in the blog, and then we'll tag the blog to this.
So you can, on all the benefits and reasons why, you want to exercise as opposed to just, being like fit.
Yes. Movement, super important. And we both believe that wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the mental health benefits of exercising mentioned in your blog?
Physical activity can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. It's releasing endorphins, right? So, and that's going to make you feel good. And it's really funny because so many of us kind of get into that rut where like, I don't want to exercise. And again, like it goes back to that self-talk thing. Like we convince ourselves that this is something we don't want to do, that we don't have time to do. It just doesn't fit into our schedule. And then a lot of times, like if you're doing something that you kind of find, fun, you feel better when you're done exercising.
Yeah.
Just going for a walk, being moderately active around the house, doing little things like, and we'll get into the fun aspects of it that kind of get your body moving and put you into a good mood. Actually, and there's science behind this, it literally does improve your mood. It reduces your chances of becoming depressed and anxious, as well as can reverse some of the effects of anxiety and depression. And there's evidence to this. So it's just so funny that it's something we convince ourselves like so often, and not everyone, but a lot of us convince ourselves that, oh God, I just don't want to do this. And then you come out of it, like at the other end of it, especially if you don't overdoing it,
right,
feeling better than when you started. And I think the important thing of that is to look at exercise as something for you, for self-care that makes you feel good, and not something you have to do to lose weight or to look a certain way to fit in. And I think like behind everything else, and I may need to like throw that into the blog as well, like I think that's the most important thing to drive home here is it's really not about like exercising because you don't look or feel a certain way. Like you want to exercise because it's good for you. You deserve it. You deserve to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, and I think
totally worth it.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. I think it's really important for people to know that they deserve that.
Yeah.
And so movement is really part of, self-care.
Yeah, and life. Like it's a part of life. It's not some punishment for being 10 pounds overweight, 20 pounds overweight, like, or whatever you think, your thing is. It's for you, for your improved life, health, and well-being.
Right. And so, how does regular exercise help sleep quality?
Okay, so it actually helps regulate your system. It helps regulate your sleep wake cycle. So when you're active, I'm not exactly sure like in all the ways that it's going to do that for you,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to your brain notices your body's working. You get to a certain part of like physical energy throughout the day and it helps your body regulate to know like when you need to sleep and when you need to be awake. Now it kind of boils down to when you're exercising. So exercising in the morning and earlier throughout the day can be really, really helpful in helping you to sleep through the night. It helps regulate your hormones. Again, it's going to regulate your sleep wake cycle. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
promote more deeper, more restful sleep. And again, earlier during the day, you want to give yourself at least 2 hours or more before doing any intense like physical activity before going to bed. And if you are looking to do some exercise before bed, something like really slow and fluid,
Mm-hmm.
like yoga, stretching, really just gentle range of motion can actually help even relax you a little bit more and bring you to that like deeper sense of relaxation to ready you for sleep.
Yeah, something like a Tai Chi, Qigong, something
Yes,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
nature.
Yoga, like I said,
Yeah.
just stretching, like light mobility. Yeah, Tai Chi is like super meditative
Mm-hmm.
and very flowy. So like even that gentle motion of moving through that is actually like so deeply relaxing.
Right. That's great. In what way can exercise increase overall energy levels?
Yeah.
Despite being physically demanding, right?
Yeah.
Um, it, you know, it sometimes you feel like you're depleted after you exercise, and then you kind of like get that second wind, especially if it's vigorous. So explain that to us.
So I mean, honestly, Larry, so you go back to like a body in motion tends to stay in motion, a body at
Mhm.
rest tends to stay at rest. So it's going to improve your cardiovascular health. It's going to increase stamina, and it's going to make like your regular everyday tasks less exhausting. Your body gets used to it. So the more
Mhm.
you move, the more your body gets used to
Moving.
moving. And really, circulation is one of like the key points here. So the better your circulation is working, the more oxygen is getting to your brain, the more your blood vessels are feeding your cells.
Yeah.
So the more you're getting up and moving around, the more your body and brain are literally being fed.
Nice.
So as you're bringing that, all of that to your body, like it makes it kind of makes it a little bit easier to have more energy to move, to stay in motion, because literally like your body's flowing. It's working in the way that it's supposed to. It's
Mhm.
getting like all of the nutrients kind of that it needs and feeding itself that way. Like that's how you get everything there. Like just eating, you have to wait then for like your digestion, your
Mhm.
circulation, like all of this to happen. When you exercise, it helps improve all of these things, which then kind of contributes to your overall energy levels.
Right.
Which I think is like, really fascinating because you're like, oh, I'm depleting myself of energy. Yes, but you're helping like literally feed your body
Right.
and your brain by doing these exercises, releasing the right hormones, like doing all this stuff. So that's where that's where the energy comes from.
That's awesome. And so then what cognitive benefits does exercise provide?
Yeah, this is great. Like, so I love that this happens, especially like going um meditation and like yoga, going for a walk. It gives your brain time, I think, to just focus on what your body is doing, and it puts you into that present moment awareness. So without the stress of overthinking everything and being inundated with what's on your computer, what's on your phone, all the noise and the chaos that are going on around you, like exercise literally, again, it gives you time to increase your circulation, improve blood flow to your brain, and then helps with overall mood and cognitive ability. So when you're in that space of like having worked out, clearing all of those like cobwebs out, getting your circulation up and going. It allows your mind to think more clearly. You're a little more sharper on the ball. And again, like I want to reiterate, like this is just like physical activity in general, like daily physical activity. You don't need to be an athlete. You don't need to be a weightlifter, like a fitness model.
Right. Right.
We're talking about everyday people finding time to move their bodies, to go for a walk, to finding, like
Yes.
your level and enjoyable level of exercise.
Yeah. I know, just speaking from experience, even when I'm in tasks, as far as when my body's busy, like even if I'm doing housework, vacuuming, things like that, it's where my brain is the most creative. Like
Absolutely.
My brain just is like firing up as my hands are in motion, or I'm in movement, and my brain is like just triggering. Right.
Our bodies are made to move. Like we are, the way that we live today is not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. No one was meant to sit like this many hours a day. And I think like that's what part of like why I'm a big promoter of it. Just getting up and moving around and taking those breaks throughout your day, because that's what we're built for.
That's great. So how does moderate exercise contribute to the immune system? So
it's so funny. Like it keeps coming back to this like circulation, right? And all of this, like this is what we need to do. So by promoting good circulation, it allows the immune cells and substances to move like freely, like to quickly like kind of pass through the body, right? So you're taking in whatever you take in, whatever needs to come out is more readily able to kind of flow through your system. So you're getting rid of more waste. And it's just, you're increasing your oxygen levels. It's giving you that boost. It's making your body move. It's processing what's, within and helping you push it out that much quicker. When your heart is pounding when your heart is working better and your muscles are working better and you're overall in a better mood. It's pretty funny. Like even just better moods will improve your immune health.
Right.
So it all is just cumulative. Like they all, one thing affects the next, and it kind of, you get this overall improvement.
Yeah.
In well-being in life. That domino effect.
Right. It helps your body be more efficient.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. That.
Why might exercise be considered a social activity? And how does it benefit in that way?
Okay, so it's this is really great because there's so many different social ways that you can exercise. I'm not a part of this because I don't run, but a group of people from my work are trying to do they're doing like a running challenge, and they need to hit like X amount of, I think you're doing in kilometers or whatever, by a certain amount of time. So and they can follow each other and like track each other on an app, so you can see where you're at, who's where, how, and it can be a little bit of a motivation to do something like that. I know plenty of people at lunchtime they'll eat their lunch together and then go for a walk together. So now like you're spending more time, like you're making an attempt to spend more time with people and socialize, which again, overall will boost your mood. You can do like family activities and activities with friends that are active, even if it's something simple like mini golf, bowling, like bike riding together, going for a hike, beach volleyball. These are like kind of like fun activities that we don't always think about, like, fitness and exercise. Right. So then you're out there being present, spending time with, like, physically spending time with people, or even interacting about what you did, like, over an app. And I feel like anything that can create a conversation and give you, like, more reason to interact with other people, like, even those of us who don't always like to, constantly be around other people, it's something to share. It's something that you can, like bond with, like whether it's with family or friends. And again, it's just an overall then mood elevator, which
Right.
contributes to overall health and well-being.
The thing I tell my people in my yoga classes is that like we do feed off of each other's energy, even though
Absolutely.
even though you're on your own mat doing your own thing, the energy of the room is so important that we kind of like, because we are like, energy is infectious, right? And
Absolutely.
so it's really cool to see that in a group setting. So if you're moving and, you know, the music, the people laughing and things like that, even like the struggle when you're in a room with people and you're struggling and people are supportive and things like that, it's
Or
also,
yeah, having fun or relax, like depending on it, right?
yeah,
So if you're going to do like a group activity, even just going to a class, right? And being around
right.
other people, whether you know them or not, and picking up on that energy. So you might want to, like, if you're super stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
people like to deal with that in different ways. So like you could go to like a Zumba class, right?
Right,
And that like really kind of get that energy up and going and flowing. And if you're feeling the music and other people are into it, it creates like a whole vibe and energy.
right.
Or like if you want to then go to like a very relaxing like yoga class or a tai
Mm-hmm.
chi or something like that to kind of bring you down,
Down.
because we all have, we all have what we prefer.
Yeah.
And some days it's different. Just being there with other people, feeling that vibe that you feel like you want to or need to create
Right,
for yourself. Like it's, we get that from others. We get that from community, and it
right.
can be like a really just wonderful thing to experience when you need something and there's other people there just by their energy being there to kind of like give you that, which is like just another great reason to get up, get out, and get
Yeah,
moving.
right. Totally. And after you're going to classes for a long time, then you do get to know the people in the
Mm-hmm.
classroom.
No, and a lot of times you make some, make friends and
Yeah,
develop relationships with people who are like-minded, which is also like a really, really great thing to do. Creates
yeah,
like a sense of community.
yeah. Awesome. What is the relationship between regular physical activity and longevity?
Okay, so now not everything like works perfectly, but clearly like the healthier you are, the more you move around, the less likely you are to develop like things like diabetes, heart disease, um all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously the more you're moving around, the more active you are, it can increase your lifespan. And it really does, like it just helps ward off like chronic illness and disease, which a lot of those come into play from inactivity, from being like extremely overweight. It causes those chronic health issues,
Mm-hmm.
which can shorten your lifespan.
Right.
So again, you want to be careful that you're not overdoing it and you're not like, being overzealous in your quest. If you're continually moving around throughout the day and you're active, that's going to help you just live a longer, happier life. And well, who doesn't want that?
Yeah. The other thing is too, you're only as young as your back is supple, right?
Mm,
And so
okay.
that is a yoga term. And the reality is, if you ever like watch people, and it doesn't matter their age, if they're shuffling their feet when they're walking, or they're a little unstable or whatever, it has to do with tight hips, tight back, things
Yeah.
like that. And so that affects your movement. And so the more you move, the looser that step gets, and
Yeah.
granted, people do have back surgeries and hip surgeries and things like that that affect them, that they
But
can't.
again, then and with all of that, unless it's in extreme cases,
Right.
you're sent for physical therapy, and then you're
Mhm.
given a home exercise program that you are actually, because I know a lot of people you're actually meant to follow that, and that's not just like, hey, do this for 6 weeks until you feel
Right.
better and then stop.
It's now
As
your
much as
lifestyle.
those are simple like exercises, these are meant for you to be doing like every single day,
Mhm.
or at least like several times a week, like ongoing. Like
Right.
this isn't like, oh, you do this and in 6 weeks you'll feel better, so then you go back to like
Right.
not doing that. No, like that's kind of how you maybe got maybe got there in the first place, or you were overdoing it. So, you bring it down, you do these healthy mobility based exercises
Right.
to keep you moving and feeling good.
Right. Totally. Let's see. And that goes into maintaining flexibility and mobility is important, right? That was our
Right.
next question that we just rolled into.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, like this is all very cumulative stuff, right? One thing affects the other, and you're just going to go into it. The more you move, the easier it is to move.
Yes.
Plain and simple, right? So you want to still always be able to like reach the things on the higher shelf, bend over and pick up something that's on the floor. When the less you move around, again, the harder it becomes.
And
you
granted,
get stuck, your body gets stuck in those positions, and
granted,
it doesn't want to move out of them.
There are people that movement just keeps is really sore for them. So going back to what you're saying is start slow. Start slow and, rest your body when it needs to rest, move your body when it needs to move. Our bodies do crave movement, whether you believe it does or it doesn't. And when we opened you said, that, you talk yourself out of it, right?
Yeah.
But our body does crave movement. When your hips are tight, your body is telling you, hey, I need to move my hip. I need to move it's a ball joint. I need to move.
Yeah.
I need to walk. They
can be so simple. I mean, just a matter of, and I'm like, I gotta be careful I don't step too far away from my computer because I'll yank the headphones out. But if you're sitting down all day long and you're at a desk and you're hunched over, walk around to the back of your chair, stand there, just stand there. And we did a whole thing on literally just how to improve health, but stand up. You can hold on to the back of your chair and just march a little bit, one leg up. I'm like, it's so funny, the delay on my camera, right? So you do a little march. You do little kicks.
Right.
You can just circle your hips and you get up. You do that a few times throughout the day, and it's going to make a very big difference in your overall well-being.
Right.
And mobility. You don't have to run out and go to a yoga class or buy the latest fitness thing that you saw on TV and do. Right. And again, this is part of the reason I created all the beginner exercises and the easy exercises that I did, because people feel like you go from sitting still and doing nothing. Sometimes, they want to go from 0 to 60
in
3.5 seconds. And you don't need to do that. You just when I talk about moving, this is moving.
Right. And
this is moving.
You go back to that simple movement that you've created. It really is very accessible. It's an accessible movement program. It really is. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
So activity, how does it boost self-esteem?
So, the better you feel, right? The better you feel, the better you're going to feel about yourself. And regardless of how much weight you may or may not lose, or how much your body shape may or may not change, you're going to see these slight changes. Mm-hmm. And so you will see a little bit of that. But when your mood improves, we're talking about, just when your mood improves from doing this, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel more confident because you're going to be like, hey, you know what? I didn't think I could do this. Now I have, I've gotten up every day and I went for a 15-minute walk during lunch, or I did this and now I notice, oh, I'm sleeping better. And because I'm sleeping better, now I have more energy. And it's just all this. And when we feel good, it's so much easier to feel good about ourselves. Again, it's all that cumulative effect. This affects this, which affects this. And the more positive we see, the more positive it's easier to be. And then the confidence just kind of comes with that. When you see, hey, I did something good. Mm-hmm. The second you recognize it, your brain is like, oh, okay, good. That's what we're looking for. We did this. I can accomplish this. And then you're literally then training your brain to be like, oh,
it's also,
we can do this. We can do that. And it improves your confidence.
Keeping a commitment to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right. And when you keep a commitment to yourself, it makes you feel better because you've done something for yourself. You've completed something. And so looking at every day that you move as an accomplishment, looking at every day you move, you did something for yourself and you made a commitment to yourself and you follow through on that commitment. That is so huge for our brain to recognize that we are making these commitments to ourselves and we are holding ourselves accountable, yet we're accomplishing.
Right. And you just over and over again then telling yourself you're worth it. Like you're worth the time, you're worth the effort. And it's so much funny because I feel like too, in doing that, we're then able to give so much to others.
Right.
Right. The better we feel, the more we can do, the easier all those little extra tasks that maybe seem like so hard to do become simple and we're joyful. And just, again, like it just brings you back to improving that quality of life.
Right. Absolutely. So now I want to just do like a wrap up here and just talk about like what we just went over, right? So the physical exercise improves mental health. It helps with sleep quality.
Yeah.
It is a social activity. It helps you connect to other people. It helps you be around like-minded people. It also helps you in that social activity for support and to give support. That always really feels good when you're.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because I didn't even
when
think about
you're
that.
Somebody else's hype man or somebody is your hype man. That like just yes, it's totally awesome. And then it balances hormones. It improves mood, immunity, your immune system. Cognitively, it changes your brain, and so it helps you cognitively, and so helps you with longevity and things like that. So we are here to be your hype people and tell you to get up and move or sit down and move.
Yeah,
and just move.
Right? Yeah, just move your body as much as you can, like each day.
Yes, and so we are going to do another episode that then goes into the scientific benefits of working out, moving, exercising, whatever you want to call it. And so look for that episode coming in 2 weeks.
All right.
So until next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Friendship, Wellness, and Wisdom. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on social media for more updates. See you next time.